I just cut my hair. After trying to grow it out for over 2 years, I finally cut it. And I knew for a while that it wasn't working. I knew it didn't look good, didn't look healthy, but I had this idea that I wanted to have long hair. I've always wanted to have long hair. But I just kept telling myself, it's gonna start looking good. Just let it grow. You'll regret it if you cut it now. But now that I finally cut it, I'm like, why didn't I do this sooner? And I don't just do this with my hair. I do this with a lot of things. Hi friends, I'm Mary Beth. Welcome back to Peace in Progress. So a lot of times I just kind of get set in my way of thinking. Maybe a little stubborn. But I feel like when I've invested time in something, or when I feel like I have a vision and I really want something to work, I have a hard time kind of letting it go. And I think part of it is because I don't want to just feel like or look like I'm giving up, like I'm failing, like I haven't given it enough time or tried hard enough. I'm realizing that there is a point where you have to kind of cut your losses, as they say, or regroup, think about things again, and let go of something that just isn't working, just isn't serving you anymore. And I know for me, a lot of times when I have a lot of time invested in something, it makes it even harder to just quit it, to just stop doing it. Like growing out my hair. I thought, yeah, if I just keep going with it, it's going to start looking better. I don't want to cut it and regret that later. Turns out I regret not cutting it sooner. And I'm going through something similar with this YouTube channel. I started out with a kind of vague idea of what I wanted to do. And then I started down a path of doing more like educational style videos. And I kept doing that, even though it wasn't really what I was envisioning for this channel. It wasn't really what I wanted to do. But I got comfortable in that whole process. I would script my whole video, and then I would basically just read it. And it came off very robotic and boring. And I wasn't connecting with anybody because the words, although I wrote them, they just were trying to be something, trying to teach or trying to be instructional and not personal. Like I want this channel to be about me, things that are true about me, things that I'm passionate about and interested in, because I know so many other people think and feel like I do. That's how it works. You might feel like you're the only one, but that's really never true. We all experience a lot of the same things. So anyway, it's really hard sometimes for me to change directions because, like I was saying, I feel like I'm failing. And maybe it's not just that I'm bad at letting go or giving up on something, but maybe I'm just really good at being positive and hoping something will turn out better, that it'll be different. So I keep going with it, trying to make it better. And I guess that just getting to the point where my hair was always up, pretty much. I didn't like just wearing it down. When I did wear it down, I usually wanted to have it curled. If you look back at my older videos, which I kind of hope you don't, but if you do, you'll see that my hair was usually curled in some sort of way. I thought it looked better that way. It made it look a little healthier somehow. But normally in my daily life, my hair would be up in a ponytail or up in a clip. So what was the point of having it be long if it didn't even look good? So these are just two examples in my life recently. I could probably name who knows, 10 or 20 or more examples over my lifetime where I've done the same thing. Tried to make something work, kept going with it, didn't want to quit. In the end, when I finally do change or pivot or do something different, it ends up being better. So I want to be able to learn that lesson sooner if possible and not let myself go on and on with something that isn't working. And as I'm thinking about it now, I think this can also relate to relationships, jobs, even hobbies. Have you ever started a hobby and it just isn't what you thought it was going to be, or you aren't very good at it, but you've spent like $100 on all the supplies and the tools, and you feel like, well, I've spent all this money and I've watched all the tutorials. If I just keep at it, maybe I'll get better. And maybe you will. They say practice makes perfect. But if it's to the point where you aren't even enjoying yourself and you just can't get it right, it's okay to just cut your losses, move on, and not think about the money that you spent on it, and just move forward with something that you do enjoy. Is there something that you've been giving your time to that just isn't working anymore? And you're just not ready to let go of it yet? Maybe you haven't really thought about letting it go. You just keep pushing forward without thinking about it. Maybe it's something that just doesn't feel quite right anymore. Maybe it used to work and now it really isn't. And you're having a hard time letting go because you think it used to work, it used to be good, I can get it back to that point. But maybe it's time to think about letting it go. Because sometimes what we're holding on to actually keeps us stuck, unable to try something new or to move forward. You're just kind of stuck in that place and in that cycle of doing the same thing over and over without seeing positive results. So I hope my little examples, my little recent stories resonated with you, maybe made you think a little bit about things going on in your life. And if this is something you've experienced too, I'd love to hear your stories in the comments. Let's try to build a little community here where we can inspire each other and share ideas and share our stories so that maybe we can all feel a little less alone. So, as always, take care of yourself, and I hope to see you in the next video. But don't look at my old videos.